Good morning, I'm Nivareti Manu, and this is your morning news fix for Wednesday, 20th of March. In this update, the Police Association says a freeze on filling backroom jobs could make it hard to deliver government targets. Police confirm cost-saving work includes restrictions on hiring non-sworn staff, but say it remains committed to the government's goal of delivering 500 extra cops. While frontline police aren't affected, President Chris Cahill says they'll feel the loss of backroom support. He says delivering extra cops while restricting non-sworn hiring could be like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Cahill says even if the 500 target is reached, if they're just filling gaps because frontline staff are doing backroom jobs, that's not actually increasing numbers on the front line. And youth crime is continuing to increase in a trend which has bucked falls in the past decade. The Ministry of Justice data shows the number of finalised charges against those aged 10 to 17 increased 35% from 2022 to 2023. Disappointment at the government's lack of communication around changes to funding. The Ministry of Disabled People has announced new limits on what disabled people can buy with their support funding. Those seeking respite care will likely be limited to hiring a carer, while accommodation, travel and food costs for carers have been removed. Disability Support Network CEO Peter Reynolds says it'll make it harder for some to replace or fix older equipment, such as wheelchairs.
There was a promise that there'd be openness, transparency, then dead silence for a couple of months, and all of a sudden we get this.
The ministry says this isn't a reduction in funding, but rather clarifying what people can purchase. Police have released new information on the disappearance of Marlborough woman Jessica Boyce. The 27-year-old went missing from Renwick 5 years ago, and although no body has been found, police deemed it a homicide 7 months later. Police are now offering a $100,000 reward for material information that leads to the conviction of anyone responsible. In an urgently released episode of TVNZ's Cold Case, Sergeant Ben Smith says they're interested in an exchange between two men connected to Boyce through the meth scene. He says the pair's conversation sent at 11:39am on March 21st reads, "Our girls are playing up," with the other person responding with, "Okay, so who's mowing the lawns?" Elon Musk's social media platform X has restored the account of a far-right Austrian who received donations from and communicated with the Christchurch mosque attacker before the attacks. Twitter owner Elon Musk has also responded to one of his tweets. Martin Sellner is the founder of the so-called identitarian movement and preaches a superiority of European ethnic groups. He was investigated by Austrian authorities after the 2019 attacks, but has denied any involvement. In sport, Russia plans to host the ironically named Friendship Games in September after getting banned from official participation at the Paris Olympics for invading Ukraine. Special United States-based medical treatment for Luke Metcalf's hamstring has been a clincher in him re-signing with the Warriors for another 2 years. The Masters menu is out for the Champions Dinner on April 9th, 2 days ahead of the golf major starting at Augusta. Incumbent green jacket holder John Rahm has collated the feast, which includes his mum's lentil stew, as one of the tapas. I'm Nivareti Manu, that's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at midday from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.